And then, can we like play a video game now?
Well, that sounds like a lovely idea. That sounds great. How about black?
What?
Yeah, you're right. Too loud and ambitious. I get it.
Dude, just get a PS5 and install Vanguard already.
Vanguard? Who the hell plays Vanguard anymore? Nobody! Besides, who has a PlayStation 5? Nobody can even get it right now. It's like you gotta beat up somebody in the parking lot for it. Oh, cool. Did you beat up a kid in the parking lot for that?
Could you get the fuck on now?
What about Crash? Crash Bandy Crunch?
Why does he matter?
What about him?
Crash 4 is on PS5.
Oh my god, the PS5 is awesome.
Talk about having a troublesome launch. Sony fans were really hit hard in 2020 when this thing came out, whether that was buying one or just finding one. The special edition router was constantly being bought out by scalpers, and it got so freaking bad and for so dang long that customers could not only get the consoles for almost 2 whole years after its release, but you couldn't even get one from Sony themselves. Sony would email players who clearly gave up on their lives to give them a head start on purchasing the PS5 with special pre-order email notifications. I would know. I qualified for that. Sony couldn't figure out how to stop them bad boys from buying up all of their stock and quadrupling the prices. They sold out so frequently that Sony ran out of the computer chips to run the PS5, so they said, rewind, make more PS4s. During the making of this episode, everything is still an ongoing issue. Not for me, though. Thankfully, I was finally able to get one thanks to my good friend here, who's currently in the house looking for his keys. I may have hid them. I enjoy the company. And trust me, I would love to talk about all the brand new games that came out with the console, except I'm broke. I have an adult allowance. It won't allow me more than one good thing. Where I may not be able to play everything brand spanking new right now, I was able to find some free good stuff on there that I'm able to play. I'm very excited for all the PlayStation 5 games that are also out, currently and to come. PS5 got some hits out there already. Demon's Souls, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Spider-Man Miles Morales, a solid startup collection. Some games that are expected to come out is Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars The Old Republic, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, just some of the games I'm personally hyped for. And while I wait for more PS5 games to come out or become free with PlayStation Plus, I decided to dedicate this video to answering any questions that I had before getting a PS5. And yes, I do have a free game for the PlayStation 5, so don't worry. The redoming will happen right after this quick self Q&A. And now, behold, my thing, the PS5 in its full majesty. This is easily the largest hunk of junk I have ever received. I had to readjust every bit of shelving in here to make it fit. Where else am I supposed to put my Skylanders now? It honestly just looks like a massive fan was built around the console itself. Sony really didn't feel like hearing about any overheating problems these PlayStation grills had from fans. The PS5 also comes with a stand, which you may think is optional, but it most certainly is indeed required. Otherwise, the console will combust. The version that I bought includes the disc drive, which costs extra from the digital-only PS5s. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to have physical copies of my games. I have too many PS4 games to not justify my purchases. I have my hobby, you have yours, okay? Having the disc drive does add some thickness to this thing, but the console still looks great. This thing doesn't even make a squeak when running games. Even when being pushed to graphical limits, it doesn't sound like an Apollo 13 PS4. Sleek, smooth, and quiet as a mouse, a good majority of the time. I don't think Sony intended to have a drive shoved into it. Actually, while I'm on the topic of disc drive, the first piece of advice for this console is how to insert your disc. Now you may be thinking, do you think I'm an idiot? Yes, of course I do. I tried inserting a disc like the logical person I am, and every time it said unsupported disc inserted. I got disgusted when it made me think that I had bought a defective $600 console, and I said, no! So I flipped the disc upside down, and to my surprise, it worked. Every PS5 has an upside-down disk drive. I asked my friends if their PS5 did that, and they said, I'm just glad it wasn't just me. Just like the controller, it's also upside down. Wait, no, my bad. I had it upside down. My mother tells me I'm special sometimes. Compared to the last controller, this thing definitely gained some pounds. It fits comfortably in my hands, even though it looks like this thing could have been under PS1 Lara Croft Sprawl. Everything that was on the PS4 controller is on the new controller, except for the blinding light by the weekend. In its place is the new USB-C port for faster charging. No more micro cable like the old controller, and it does charge incredibly fast, lasting about an hour or so to charge fully. Actually, the light that would be on the back is on the controller, but it's behind the touchpad instead, and with the high beams off for a more subtle approach. The PS5 runs like an absolute dream. We got ourselves a cleaned up interface with quicker access to games, quicker access to the store. I find this way better than the PS4 interface. More so because it's pretty close to the old interface, except faster and simpler. When you push the logo on the controller, you get a sub menu. It doesn't interrupt the game flow. You can change songs from your preferred music collection while you play. You could easily swap between two games without having to go to the home page without a single delay. Not only can you look up trophies that you still have to earn for full completion, but you're able to track some of the trophies too. Yeah, I know. It's something Xbox did a while ago, but PlayStation has always lagged behind on the trend sometimes, alright? Also, do you own a dump truck's worth of PS4 games, but wish that they ran like not crap on your PS4? Get a PS4 Pro. But the PS5 works just as well as that and more. The only time I've noticed that you couldn't play certain PS4 games is if there's already games like Fortnite that have a better version of itself on the PS5. Or if it's a demo. You can't play PS4 demos on this thing. Every game runs at its absolute smoothest, with loading screens that practically feel non-existent for games like Injustice 2 and Spider-Man. A handful of PS4 games even offer a free PS5 enhanced upgrade like Star Wars Fallen Order and Doom Eternal, giving a proper glow up from its PS4 counterpart, which, by the way, you could still have the choice in playing the PS4 version if you didn't want to play the newer PS5 beautiful version. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Maybe for trophy purposes. That's probably the only reason you would ever want to do that. But it would probably be smarter if you bought the PS4 version, because that would come with a PS5 upgrade. And PS4 games are usually cheaper than the PS5 games, so if it comes with a free upgrade, then it's kind of dumb if you didn't just get the PS4 version. You save money and you get two versions of the same game. Where Star Wars Fallen Order didn't really offer too much new besides just prettier graphics, Doom Eternal was given extra bonuses. It got that fancy ray tracing stuff that I heard so much about, and for added love to a game that's already visually engaging. It has the new haptic feedback, which Sony advertised heavily on, so when you pull the R2 button and the gun fires in the game, the controller not only vibrates to the beat of your gun, but it makes the trigger feel like it has controlled weight on it. You don't just press the button anymore, it actually has resistance, it has restraint. Instead of just pulling back a bow, you feel the pullback of the bow. It actually has feedback to it. It feels natural. Having your controller be aware of reactions to activate during a game, it's a unique idea that was brought to fruition. Sure, Vibration has done it before, but man, they managed to make it feel like they actually dumped a bunch of tiny bots into my controller. Thankfully, I'm a really good caretaker. Having a PlayStation Plus subscription is definitely a bonus to have this time around. Be able to upload save data onto your console. It can offer help guides for trophies for some games if you don't feel like searching through guides on YouTube. To top it all off, the PS Bus Collection. A bus full of hand-picked famous PS4 games that defined what the PS4 brought to the party. God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Batman, Uncharted 4, Crash Bandicoot. And the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is technically 3 games in one bundle, free of charge. $9.99 per month, that is.
Wait. Shut your face. Wait. I have this new, bulky, stinky, sucks too much controller. I don't want it anymore. Can I use my 2014 not deteriorating controller for my $600 pound console, please? I don't want to use a bulky thing.
So you can use PS4 controllers with your latest and greatest PS5. It will work with operating the menu and playing the older PS4 games, but you cannot play PS5 games with the PS4 controller. PS4 doesn't have them fancy buttons. Thank you for not making me take a loan in order to get extra controllers for this console. I already put in my paychecks for this thing. Don't punish me for purchasing your previous console and controller, Sony, with a chance. And now on to the game that I actually want to play. Astro's Playroom is a free goodie that comes with your PS5 and comes pre-installed, without your consent. But it's okay. it's free, featuring Sony's official minions of gaming, the Astrobots. From the very get-go, you get shown off some of the nifty features that the controller has. I'm not going to lie, the controller has the most reconstruction and reboot, and it is astounding. This controller really became a star of the show. Vibration that isn't just rumble, it's rumble that readjusts to fit the actions that occur on screen. Adaptive triggers that actually react to being pulled, like I mentioned with Doom Eternal. Touchpad that senses what motions you make with your finger. Motion sensor that
Doesn't feel like the shaky hand from Wii Sports Menu.
HD rumbles that can make it feel like you could guess how many robots are in the controller. A microphone built into the bottom of the controller to scream profanities without having to plug in a headset. I'm happy that it wasn't just the console that was improved. Now we must dive into the unknown. Into the console we go. What we have here is a 3D platformer within the console itself, with stages based on parts of the console. Cooling fans, memory storage, the GPU, the SSD, even a whole ass console within a console. Sony is crazy, dog.
How'd they do it? How'd they do it, man? Disk drive.
What we have here is a very basic platformer with a jump button and an attack button. Explore every area to find collectibles and collect coins to unlock bonus things. I'm going to start talking about Mario if this doesn't start sounding like a tech demo for Sony, so let's drown this in PlayStation nostalgia. Every collectible, every piece, mostly every achievement, every Astrobot that looks like not a bot is all a reference. This game is one giant reference. If you had any PlayStation, you will have some sort of memory unlocked. Anything that Sony officially released got its praise in this game. It's a massive PlayStation award presented by PlayStation. Even you, standing around, dying, somehow turns itself into reference number 345. The main objective of this game is to achieve all the PlayStation accessories to add to your collection.
You must become a video game collector. You have no choice. You have to get all the retro games, all the retro accessories, consoles, everything, even the magazines. I don't care if it takes you all day. Gamers will rule the world.
Lots and lots of bots make nods to PlayStation hits from then to now. From popular gaming references that anyone could guess to obscure references that I didn't even think Sony would acknowledge ever again. Some I don't even know. There are also artifacts that make me squeal with glee, or they make me say, looking at the artifacts too, made me realize how incredibly smooth and beautiful this game looks. This game makes a spider cave pretty and not threatening, which is a challenge not many developers can conquer. I love the color schemes, I love the open locations that you can explore with enthusiastic music, and the fun active environments with something always happening around you. Nothing in this game makes the experience stale. When you push buttons on your actual controller, they correspond to the in-game controller, and even the textures are on point. I also learned things about my consoles and the company's history without having a whole video explaining it to me. I've been taught solely through the visuals.
See? Games can be educational. Now let me play Burly Men at Sea, please. Thank you.
I was also taught by the singing computer itself. Listen to it, channel its energy. Oh, they're talking about the GPU. I thought they were talking about my ex-girlfriend.
I've had such a joy with the game's implemented tech that I would play certain sections multiple times to remind my adult self what fun feels like again. Every movement of my controller, every push of the button, every unique feature
That makes this just top tier.
That's not even mentioning the vehicles. The fact that you could be a high-flying, swinging, robotic monkey makes me want to be an acrobatic in real life. You know the controls are smooth when you have to contort your controller with climbing motions
And not feel annoyed with having to do this every single damn time?
There is a machine in the collection area that uses robot hands that I just love messing around with. It detects the amount of pressure put into the button pushes and naturally knows how to react accordingly. In the controller is this texture vibration and speaker that makes this game extra techy and extra feely. Phil Collins knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, you crazy kid. Go back to your Sega Genesis or whatever you play. You walk on metal and you hear the clanks of your footsteps through the speaker of the controller and vibrations for what feels like hollow steps. You walk on the wooden bridge, the planks feel loose and that it could break at any moment. Even on broken planks, it feels distinctively different. You walk on sand, it feels coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere in the living room. They really showcase the new tech with simple implementations that isn't too distracting from the main course. The particle effects are crisp and colorful. Every little item starts to shift individually without it affecting other objects, like items on the table that can be moved without disturbing one another, to a group of smaller items that can be distributed with punches. There are plenty of items and interactions to miss through a single playthrough. I've beaten this game to completion, and I'm convinced that I still haven't found everything yet. This game takes about 4 hours or less to beat, maybe an extra hour to 100% for the whole experience, but for a tech demo, this is ace. This actually may be my favorite tech demo of all time. I mean, it has amazing visuals, fun music, a lot of PlayStation nods, so of course it appeals to me very fast. Fun vehicle segments that don't feel annoyingly long when you play them. It has this perfect balance almost, and if other Astro Bots games play exactly like this, I'm totally down for playing through every single one if I have to. This was so much fun to play through. I definitely highly recommend that you play this tech demo, because even if you don't understand all the references, it's still really fun to play through, even though I'm sure a good majority of it you may not get, but it's still very fun and very fast. It only takes about maybe 4 or 5 hours to fully beat, so honestly, there's no harm, no foul to this. And now that I've lulled you into a deep sleep with all my nerd shit, I'm going to go sleep now too. Good night.
Yeah, so like, I found my keys, so I'm gonna go.
Yes, I would like to talk about something else actually with you while you're here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna take your cat and go.
It's all supposed to be a little unreal.
Technically, this is another tech demo, but it wasn't meant to show off the PS5 tech. It's to show off the new Unreal Engine 5 that was built during the Game Awards 2021. I can't believe Epic Games managed to build an entire game engine within an hour. That's crazy. I have looked up nothing about this game prior to starting the app besides it being pretty short. Where Astro's Playroom is meant to show off the fancy PS5 features for new gameplay elements, the Matrix Awakens shows off a development engine for increased graphics. This looks pretty legit. I mean, I can still tell from slight movements when it's the fake Keanu, but this is a massive step in the right direction. Sure as hell looks like John Wick. I could see every hair strand and every feature on his face, and that he can be altered to look like his younger self. The whole opening portion of this demo is awesome. We got Neo and Trinity driving through the Matrix, reminiscing about their peak performances during the Matrix and acknowledging the dangers of advertising by being advertised. Then we get introduced to everyone's favorite Matrix character, her. I mean you. You're in like the hacker you are. But no, you didn't just hack the game halfway through a cutscene. The game now allowed you to play with a pretty seamless transition. Shooting other cars while being driven around. Agents trying to jump at you like a spider monkey that notices your banana gun. Casually just direct traffic. It's such a kick-ass action set piece to start with. The only thing that kind of stinks about it is that you can't shoot wherever you want. It auto-locks to specific things to make specific actions happen. I had a similar experience at Toy Story Mania in Disney World, but with fun little toys getting got, and now... Once we destroyed a good portion of the city, we get banned to the open world city island for misdemeanor. On arrival, you get no real objective, just kind of do whatever. The game actually just turns into a city simulator at this point. And no, not like GTA simulator, like normal pedestrian on their way to a 9-to-5 job simulator. You get brought to the city to mess with the new features of the Unreal Engine 5. It's for those nerds who love graphics cards in their computers and need new eye candy. The amount of people that can be added through a random generator, cars getting that realistic work of paint with sleek design for Gran Turismo developers to gush over, buildings not only passing height limits but having some rooms within it actually being randomly generated as well. As I said, graphics and visuals are the main attraction here. But I have to say, this is an impressive demo, and it's interesting for about an hour or so. There isn't too much to do within the demo besides the opening chase sequence. I'm a man of action, so for me this demo stops at a screeching halt. But yeah, I get it though. It's a demonstration. I feel like this could have had a bit more to it, but I got what was advertised, so I can't get too bummed out about it. Wait, I'm in the Matrix. Why am I some boring ass walking on the sidewalk? I I want to fly. Well, I got my wish. Very underwhelming though, considering you are not actually flying. You get the free cam everywhere to admire the pretty city from above with, yet again, nothing to do. Where I may not actually be flying, it is still amazing that all of this is within eyesight. Everything is accessible and it looks like a legit photograph. I could honestly show this to somebody and nobody would know this was an in-game engine. Listen, I want speed now, and flying is cool, but I want style and a hot body.
Well, we can all dream, right?
I love these car physics. I don't think they are realistic, but it makes for entertaining demolition derby. I spent the most time in the city just destroying the living hell out of anything I could. I can see which part I damaged. I know my car's life capacity without a bar showing me its endurance. Every scratch mark on the car shows. An insurance company could get hyped about these simulations for an accuracy of the damage. This was a fine demonstration, but honestly, I played for an hour and felt satisfied with what I did. I couldn't add much more to what I already said. All I can say is a job well done to all the people who helped craft the Unreal Engine 5 because it looks exquisite. I'm curious to see how larger games operate with the engine because this engine only performed for one action sequence in a city that has nothing else happening besides the New York daily routines. With added dynamic actions and locations, I wonder how well this game could possibly run. Even colliding with multiple cars, the frame rate dipped slightly in and out. Nothing too big, just something that I took note of.
Great console, really cool controller, an amazing Astrobot tech demo. Honestly, this just makes me feel satisfied and ecstatic for the future of the PS5 and all the games that we have now. I'm so excited for this generation of gaming. Who knows what ideas and concepts can come to real as could possibly be with this Unreal Engine 5. This is probably like as close to even a PC at times in terms of like graphics and how it runs and everything. It's just, it amazes me. I just can't wait to get those next gen games besides, you know, the ones that we have. Like Nickelodeon All-Star Smash Ultimate.
Oh my god, the PSV.
I mean, technically, yeah, if going by Roman numerals, but like we ain't.